I I am so mad. I made this video. The questionable tags and the out tags weren't showing up, so I thought people were in that weren't in that were questionable and etc. So I made the video and I realized where are all the questionable tags, and they weren't there. So now I have to go back and make the video again because I was like confused. Like, where are all the players with the questionable tags? And there was no questionable tags for anyone. So I was really confused there. So I'm going to make this video pretty short. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I make videos for NFL. I post them on a subreddit called DF Sports. 1S, so DF Sports. I post updates with all the news that comes out, etc., stuff like that. People talk strategy here, talk strategy. You can ask me questions. I'll respond to your questions on like pivots and stuff like that. And if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Reddit Messenger, or you can get a hold of me on Twitter at Tory Langley 1992. So first off, is this guy serious? Also, if Discord's something you're interested in, I'll have a link to that below. A lot of people had really good days today outside of myself. Glitter, really great lineup there. Jarek had a good game. J Ruck had a good game. K-Mac here with the fifth place finish for $400. Gilmax with a great night. Camp with a great night. Manuel with a good night there. Clever with the second place for $300. K-Mac again. I think he moved up to fifth, yeah, for $450. Rudy turning 35 and 150. So really good nights overall, except for myself. I'll show you guys my lineup in a second, but I am so happy for Pascal Siakam. You guys want to know I play this guy in phenomenal matchups? Goes for 30 fantasy points. I finally fade tonight in a terrible matchup. You guys want to know what he does? He goes for 50 points, 103 assists, 554 rebounds, and he shot 175% from the field. Play Siakam here. At no ownership in a good matchup. Play Siakam here. At no ownership in a good matchup. There was another game that I played Siakam in the best matchup in the league for him with how they played. He went for 19.6 assists and 4 rebounds. You guys want to know what he went for tonight? Let's take a look. God damn it. 38 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 blocks, 105 steals, 70 fantasy points. So happy for him. Taking a look at my lineup from today. Random massive blowouts for my whole lineup. Oh, this is not my lineup. Where's my lineup? Oh, here we go. Random massive blowouts for my lineup. Low owned Jalen Green. Random massive blowout. Low owned Devin Vassell. Absolutely breaking the slate. Random massive blowout. Low owned, or I think everyone else was fine. Low owned LaMelo Ball. Random massive foul trouble. Has 5, picks up 2 fouls instantly, picks up another, and then picks up another and another. Unbelievable. But the core that I had for tonight was LaMelo Ball, Naz Reid, Lonnie Walker, Thomas Bryant, all of which absolutely smashed. So, a lot of good winners in the Discord. Like I said, I'll have a link to that below. I just got hit with the variance with the blow in here in a phenomenal spot. I did consider Christian Wood and Mikal Bridges, but I really like the spot here in this game for both these guards here. I wanted to take advantage of that. Unfortunately, the game did blow out, and it didn't go my way, which cost me. But I hit some NFL props. I do some sportsbook stuff. If you guys do some sportsbook stuff, I do Draftkings Sportsbook. I'll post some stuff every now and then. Um, hit on a few today. So let's go over this NBA slate. So I'm gonna go over this pretty quick here, because I just made this video. It took me 25 minutes. Now I have to redo it. So we're gonna go quick. Really good matchup here for Utah. Detroit 17th in pace, 27th in defensive rating. No, 29th defensive rating. So not much on the Utah side. Kyle Olynyk is, I don't know if he's already ruled out. I believe he's questionable, but Markin and Clarkson, they're just there for me. Vanderbilt's fine. Beasley's been god awful. He'll play mid 20s minutes off the bench. Don't hate it. He has the ceiling if he's hitting his shots. I think Mike Conley's my favorite play on this team if Kelly Olynyk's in. We should get low 30s minutes from him, a guy that can stuff the stat sheet. Just has been shooting the ball very, very bad. If he can just have a decent shooting game, I think he can definitely pay off that salary. And then if Olynyk's in, I'm off Kessler, and then Olynyk himself at 5.8K would just be there for me. A pretty safe play, but I don't think the ceiling is really there at 5.8K. Then if Olynyk's out, I think Walker Kessler in a really good matchup at 5K looks really, really good. Played 25 minutes tonight. Had massive foul trouble plus the blowout, so lost a lot of minutes. He was on pace to play a lot, so would like Kessler quite a bit if Olynyk's out and he starts again. So going over to Detroit, so it's a good matchup. Utah, they play kind of middle of the road. 11th in pace. They're terrible defensively, 25th in defensive rating. So there's a play on this team that I really like. I'll give you guys a second to figure it out. I'll give you like 2 seconds. Who is it? If you guessed Corey Joseph, you are correct. Yippee! But no, we'll go over it in a sec. Bojan, I don't understand what Casey's doing with this rotation. Why is their oldest player playing the most minutes? But I feel confident with his minutes. I think he's probably going to play over 30. If he's hitting his shots, he definitely does have a ceiling. So I think Bojan is my second favorite play on this team. He's fine. Stewart, he'll probably play 25 to 30 minutes, does have a ceiling. Always in foul trouble, though. Just a dart for GPPs. It is kind of nice he has power forward eligibility, though. So I do have some interest in Stewart for GPPs, and I do have some interest in Jaden Ivey for GPPs. Once again, the minutes aren't going to be huge, but with no Cade Cunningham, he's the clear number 2 on offense. It's crazy to say Bojan is the clear number 1 right now, but he's the clear number 2 on offense. He can do more peripheral stats than Bojan. So you could see Ivy paying off this price tag even in limited action. So I do have some interest in Ivy, but the clear cut and away, my favorite play on this team is Jalen Duren at 4.8K. I don't know if you guys have ever watched this guy play, but this guy is like a miniature Rudy Gobert with how good of a rebounder he is. It's absolutely insane how good this guy is at rebounding the ball. Now, he's not going to do a ton offensively, which is fine. He doesn't need to be with how good of a rebounder he is. So, Jalen Duren at 4.8K, he's been low owned every slate. I think people are going to finally catch on and play him tomorrow. I think he'll be pretty popular, but I do like him quite a bit for GPPs. Anyone on the bench can't do it. Just Bagley's not playing enough. Bay's not playing enough. Really hard to go into anyone else on Detroit. Chicago at Miami. This game just looks absolutely disgusting. Miami's 28th in pace, 7th in defensive rating. If these guys are going to get ownership tomorrow, I think they're all terrible plays. Vooch has a really tough matchup against Bam. DeRozan, tough matchup. Levine, I don't know who's going to be on Levine. He might be my favorite at 7.3K. Probably get high 30s minutes from him. Extremely, extremely high ceiling when he's hitting his shots, but a pretty low floor when he's not. So I do have some interest in Levine, but no standouts here with the big three. Kind of more looking to value here for Chicago. So Patrick Williams, Alex Caruso, I think are firmly in play on this slate. There's not a lot of value here. So Patrick Williams probably plays high 30s minutes. More out there for his defense, but with not a lot of standout value on the slate, I do think he is perfectly fine for value. Same with Alex Caruso. I think we get 25-ish minutes for him, 25 to 30. Not going to be productive offensively, but he's a guy that can stuff the stat sheet, get you a few rebounds, a few assists, a few defensive stats, good defender. So definitely do have some interest in both these value plays for Chicago tomorrow. Let's move on to Miami. Good spot here for Miami. Chicago, They are 8th in pace, and they are 17th in defensive rating. So Butler's probable. Kyle Lowry is questionable, and Caleb Martin's questionable. If everyone is in, I'm probably just going to cross off this team. I think Bam Adebayo would be my favorite in a good matchup against Vooch. But no standouts here if everyone's in. But if we get Kyle Lowry out, I think Butler's fine. I think Harrow's fine. I think Bam's fine. I still think they're appropriately priced. But there would be a value play that I'm quite intrigued by. Victor Oladipo. Now, he played 34 minutes here. This was without Kyle Lowry, I do believe. Yeah, it was. And then he also played over 30 minutes here. This was without Jimmy Butler. So when one of Butler or Kyle Lowry is out, or Tyler Harrow, I think they want to be giving Victor Oladipo minutes here. Played 34 minutes last game. He's a guy when he's on the court that's going to be pretty productive. So if we're going to get similar run from him, if Kyle Lowry's out, which I would expect him to play, at least 25 minutes, I think he's a pretty solid value play. So keep an eye on that news. Duncan is always playable for GPPs. Minutes wise for him, if Kyle Lowry's out, I think we get, high teens to low 20s. Always a playable value. And then I don't think I'm going to get to anyone else. I don't think there's really a need to. Golden State at the New York Knicks. Tough spot here for Golden State, man. The Knicks, 16th in pace and 9th in defensive rating. So not a spot I want to be targeting a lot, but I do believe Steph Curry is, he's out for a month. Andrew Wiggins already going to be out. And then we have Klay Thompson probable. So with those two out, even in a tough matchup, I think Poole, Klay both look like good options. I might prefer Klay point per dollar, but I think both are pretty good plays and they're going to get ownership tomorrow. Jordan Poole's going to lead the way offensively. His floor with no Steph is pretty high. He'll have the ball in his hands a lot. I think the price is still too cheap here. So I do like Jordan Poole a lot. I like Klay Thompson quite a bit as well at 6.6K. He seems way too cheap for me as well. These two are going to lead the way offensively. They're going to play huge minutes. So I do like both the main guys here for the Warriors. Dante at 6.2K has been extremely, extremely productive. I don't know if he's going to continue to average over 7 rebounds. 7 to 8 rebounds a game or average a double-double and 6 assists. That's not going to happen. I think he's personally appropriately priced. If he's going to get ownership, I want nothing to do with it. I would much rather go to a Draymond Green who is going to play close to 40 minutes. I don't understand why he's 5.9K. I think that's just too cheap. Now, the only thing that I'm worried about is with Steph Curry out, that hurts Draymond Green fantasy-wise. With Steph Curry on the court, he actually averages more fantasy points than he does with Steph off the court. So that is one thing to keep in mind, but he's going to play huge minutes. He's now below 6K. I think it looks like a solid play. Looney's just there for me. I'd rather go to guys like Walker Kessler. I'd rather go to Jalen Duren, stuff like that. It's really hard for me to get to Looney. Can I get this price tag? I don't think I can do it. And then we'll have to see. Let me take a look at the rotation last game, actually. If you guys don't know what the site is, called popcornmachine.net, you can look at all of the past rotations that teams have run. Extremely, extremely important. So, yeah, they just ran an extremely tight rotation. It's really hard to get to anyone off the bench. Just extremely tight. Ooh, yeah, not going to get to anyone off the bench. So, a lot to like on this Knicks team, personally, for me. Knicks or Golden State. Can't even go over defensive rating or pace, but Randall 9.1K does seem appropriately priced. I still think he's firmly in play. Beginning of the year, they weren't playing huge minutes, but take a look at the minutes last week. 39, 36 in a massive blowout, 46 in overtime, 27 in a massive blowout, 36 in a massive blowout, 33 in a massive blowout, 35, I don't know, but he's playing 35 plus minutes in a blowout. So what the Knicks are doing, they're doing what they did from years past, where they're just running their starters into the ground. So I like all the Knicks. Randall, probably my least favorite. I think he's more appropriately priced. But Brunson, RJ Barrett. I think people are going to see these prices and they're going to be scared away from them. But with them playing over 40 minutes game, I think they're both pretty solid options. I've been playing teams against Golden State all season long. Not going to stop that here. So I do like Brunson. I do like RJ Barrett quite a bit. As you guys know, I've been playing RJ Barrett pretty much every slate, and he hasn't really paid off for me. But the big game's coming, man, with how many minutes he's playing. Mitch Robb, I do have interest in for GPPs. Has an extremely high ceiling, but a pretty low floor, especially when he gets into foul trouble. But I do like Mitch for GPPs. He'll probably play around 30 minutes. Quentin Grimes, he'll probably play mid 30s minutes. Not going to be productive when he's out there, but a fine value. Quickly, I like for GPPs. Minutes wise for him, probably low to mid 20s. Going to be extremely productive when he's on the court. So I do like quickly for GPPs. Not getting to anyone else though. Let's go over Washington. This is going to be a quick team to go over. 19th in pace. Oh wait, Phoenix we're going over. Phoenix is 22nd in pace. My God, has this Phoenix team just been depressing? 10th in defensive rating. I'm going to keep this a bean. I have no interest in Washington tomorrow. Porzingis, overpriced. Kyle Kuzma, overpriced. Bradley Beal, I think, is interesting. I would say normally this price tag's way too cheap, but he's probably going to get Mikal, I would assume. So that does worry me a little bit, but normally, not given the matchup, he would be a little bit too cheap. So do have some interest there. Denny at that price, no thank you. The guards, no thank you. Pretty simple there for Washington. The only guy I have interest in is Beal. Washington, 19th in pace, 22nd defensive rating. So we don't know if Booker's going to be out. We'll keep this simple. I do believe Jay, Cam Payne, Cam Johnson are all going to be out. Josh Okogie left the game today. We'll keep it a bean. If Booker is in, I think it's Booker at the top for me, and then Ayton is a fine play in a good matchup, and then nothing else. But if Okogie and Booker are both out, then Chris Paul is going to look good. If you played him tonight, massive freaking blowout. Unfortunate for you. Ayton would be a fine play. I do prefer Chris Paul for a little bit more. Bridges would be solid at 6.5K though. Fine option. Craig, no thank you at that price, but you're going to get big minutes for guys like Landry Shamet, Damian Lee. I think both would be pretty good value plays. So if Booker is out, especially if Cody's out, you're going to get big minutes for those guys. As you see here, Damian Lee played 38, Landry Shamet played 30. They're both going to look like two of the better value plays on the slate. So that is something to keep an eye on. So last game here, guys. Denver, 20th in pace. 26th in defensive rating. They've been putrid defensively. John Morant is the best spend up on the slate. If you want to go there, I think Jokic is a really good spend up too. I think it's close between them if you consider price. Might prefer Jokic actually. I don't know, but I think Ja makes for a great spend up. Clear one of the highest usage rates in the league. Playing huge minutes. I don't think anyone on Denver is going to be able to stop him. So love Ja. Jaren's fine. Brooks is fine. Tyus, no thank you. Steven Adams, safe play. Rather play the other centers on the slate. And then they're running such a tight rotation, you can't really get to anyone else. So on the Denver side, we have Jamal Murray questionable. We have Michael Porter Jr. doubtful. We have KCP questionable. Jeff Green doesn't really change much. If everyone's in outside of Michael Porter Jr., I think Jokic looks like a really good spend up. Been phenomenal. 95, 82, 83 of the past 4 games. I think Jamal Murray has a ceiling. He just hasn't flashed it of late. He would be an interesting GPP play for me. Aaron Gordon, no thank you. Bruce Brown, same thing, just a safe play. I don't really think he has a ceiling, but he'll play huge minutes. Fine as like a last piece in. Bones has been shooting the ball terribly. I think that's why he hasn't played much. Extremely risky, just a dart. If those guys are in. And then Christian Braun's been playing a lot more of late, but I don't think he's really DFS viable if those guys are in. But if Murray, MPJ, and KCP are out, there's going to be some things to like here. So I would assume Bones Highland picks up the start. If that's the case, he would look phenomenal. Would absolutely love Bones Highland. Bruce Brown would get a boost. I think he would be solid. Already love Jokic. And then we're probably going to get like a Devon Reed maybe, or Christian Braun. I don't know who they would start. It would be Jokic, Aaron Gordon. Okay, let's just. Bruce, Bones, Aaron Gordon, Jokic. And then it would have to be either Devon Reed or Braun. Whoever starts would be playable though, but hope this helped you guys out, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.